But I want to talk war, Jesse. I want to talk war. And I don't know if you know. Do you know who Tucker Carlson is?
Come on, man.
You do?
Man. Of course I do.
you say that, but you don't even know who he
got
is.
fired from Fox a few months ago. He's had how many? Come on, bro.
Play the Tucker Carlson video, please. Let's have a look at Tucker Carlson and what Tucker Carlson did.
We're in Moscow tonight. We're here to interview the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. We'll be doing that soon. There are risks to conducting an interview like this, obviously. So we thought about it carefully over many months. Here's why we're doing it. First, because it's our job. We're in journalism. Our duty is to inform people. 2 years into a war that's reshaping the entire world, most Americans are not informed. They have no real idea what's happening in this region, here in Russia or 600 miles away in Ukraine. But they should know. They're paying for much of it in ways they might not fully yet perceive. The war in Ukraine is a human disaster. It's left hundreds of thousands of people dead, an entire generation of young Ukrainians, and it's depopulated the largest country in Europe. But the long-term effects are even more profound. This war has utterly reshaped the global military and trade alliances, and the sanctions that followed have as well. And in total, they have upended the world economy.
Tucker Carlson, Jesse, has decided to interview Vladimir Putin. It's actually already out. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen the first 20 minutes.
Nice. A lot of people are calling Tucker Carlson, well, when it first came out, when they first realized that he was going there, they started calling him a traitor.
Yeah.
They started saying that he was a traitor to the US and all this kind of stuff. And I think that in these days and times, because we are all on social media right now, we're here on social media right now, you can control your narrative. That's what I love about social media. You can control it. Going back to badders, they're controlling their narrative negatively, but you can control your narrative. And what Tucker Carlson is trying to do, it seems, is control the narrative for Vladimir Putin, or Vladimir Putin is trying to control his own narrative. Now, truth and facts for me need to be put out there into the public eye for people to make their own decisions. You have to make your own decisions.
Yeah, but truth and facts aren't the same thing.
They aren't, because everyone's got their own truth.
Yeah.
Right.
There are many things that we've been told are facts, which have been proved to not be so. Which
means they weren't facts in the first place.
But they were at the time.
Which is crazy, isn't it?
Ain't that crazy?
How facts change. When it comes to Putin,
Yeah, are you ready to get cancelled?
Listen, I'm ready to get. Well, no, I'm not ready to get cancelled, Jesse. Just keep it PG at least. Goodness gracious, go on. What do you think of Putin?
I think that Russia are fortunate to have a powerful leader like Putin. Otherwise, they will be subject to all the tyrannies of the West. So, yeah, you need strong leadership. I mean, we have it in this country, not in the face of one person, but we have like a strong leadership structure. They have it in the US. They have it in China. They had it in Libya. They had it in Iraq.
What, with Gaddafi, you mean, in Libya?
Yeah.
Right.
They have it in Iran. They have it in North Korea.
So what do you think of the leaders of the West then? Leaders of the West are what? Soft ass?
Well, they're different.
Well, Biden can't even string a sentence together.
They're different because they have the whole gang behind them. Do you know what I mean? So they're not by themselves. Whereas, like, look at these leaders of these so-called communist countries. They kind of stand alone. It's Assad, it's Putin, it's Xi Jinping. But, these countries need these strong individuals to lead them. And that's what Russia have with Putin.
So why don't we have strong leaders?
We have a strong leadership structure. So like none of us can break into that secret club.
Right.
If you look at like the prime ministers of this country, they've all gone to the same schools and colleges.
Yeah.
So it's like we have this idea of election when you go and elect who you want to be a leader.
The illusion of inclusion.
Yeah, but it's actually more like selection, not election.
Yeah.
Because you're just choosing from a small pool
of people.
Yeah. So we have like a structure which kind of replaces the individual autocrat. But the bottom line is they do the same thing.
Do you think our leadership can compare to Russian leadership? Because look at Rishi Sunak. Now, I've always said to people, Rishi Sunak wasn't even voted in, bro. And that's the craziness about this whole thing. Rishi Sunak was put in because someone else couldn't do the job or didn't want to do the job. And then now we've got Rishi Sunak. He wasn't even elected to do the job. And then in America, you have Joe Biden, like I said, who can hardly string a sentence together, who seems like he's suffering from dementia. And then you have Vladimir Putin. And then when you watch that interview, you're like, this guy's articulate. He knows what he's saying. Like, he answers questions. He doesn't try to dodge questions. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh my God, when our politicians over here in the UK and in the West in general, they're constantly trying to dodge questions. Constantly and consistently trying to dodge questions. But then when you look at the interview, and I advise everyone to go and watch the interview with Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin.
On his X account.
On his X account.
Yeah.
It's actually on YouTube too.
Since when?
It's on YouTube. It's on Tucker Carlson's YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. But you think to yourself, wow, we're kind of lacking when it comes to leadership if this is what
Do you know why?
Leadership is. Go on.
So if what you're standing for is the truth, and I come and give you a grilling, you can answer every question. Because what you're standing,
because you're not trying to hide from something.
Yeah, and what you're standing for isn't going to change. Like, you're standing behind and for one thing,
and you don't have to think of a lie.
Exactly. However, if what you're standing for isn't genuine and it's not completely honest, you may not answer the question. May try and
dodge it, duck it, weave it,
and that's the difference there.
That's very interesting.
Like, if I said you right now, because why are you gay?
Because I'm not.
See, you have to dodge that because we all know you're. Why am I serious? And then I got to go tell a joke and ruin everything.
Oh, guys.
That's why I stay off camera. Back to you.
That's why he stays off camera. That was banter, people. I'm not actually homosexual. But if you are homosexual, be a homosexual. It's fine.
No, that's the meme.
What?
Why are you gay? That's the meme. That's what I was doing.
I know.
Who says I'm gay?
Oh, was that you
doing the meme?
Oh, mate, that wasn't a very good.
I thought you were gonna get it.
I mean, I know it.
And you went to say, "Who says I'm gay?"
Who says I'm gay?
You are.
And he said, "You are gay." He said, "What are you? Homosexual? Transsexual? What are you doing?" But yeah, back to Putin and the war. What I done is that I was hearing a lot of people in the UK talk about war. We were hearing about conscription, right? Conscription, for those who don't know, is if they call you up, they're talking about they're going to be calling up people for war, and you got to get your ass over to NATO, over to Russia, and fight for the UK. So I went to the streets. I went to the streets, baby, to see what the streets were saying, and ask people on the streets of London if they actually wanted to go to war for this country. And you guys need to go into my channel and see, would you go to war for this country? Okay, just go into, type it in, Sa Ra Garvey, would you go to war for this country? I've got parts 1 and 2. But there was a guy on here who kind of made an impact. And I want to play his video and see what he says. Jesse, so could we play the video of him when I asked him if he wants to go to war for this country?
55 seconds. Here we go.
Would you go to war for this country?
Would you go to war for this country?
Why? Why would I go to a country? I mean, if you're saying to me, why would I support a team to win the World Cup, whatever, it's because I'm behind them and I understand what they're going through and I'm part of it. But would you go to war for this country? Let me ask you, go to war for this country. Why are we at war? Answer me that first. And why are we at war? Don't give me no long story.
A lot of people would say that you're ungrateful then. A lot of people would.
I'm ungrateful. Please don't tell me about the First World War and the Second World War, because those are different things, right? It's a very different time, right? Now, I think we're living in a time now, if you come to me and put the yellow feather on me, I'll wear it like a fucking badge, bruv. I'll tell you when I would go to war. I'll go to war when I see all those people making the decisions about us going to war, when I see them standing on the front line and not just with their medals that they got for fucking egg and spoon race.
Egg and spoon race. What a classic.
Not just with their medals they got for fucking egg and spoon race, mate. You know what I mean, Governor? Yeah, Jesse, that what he says was a common running theme when I took to the streets to try and get the streets' opinion, yeah, on would you fight for this country? A lot of people ain't going to war for this country, you know.